Warning: no dogs are bred, trained, sold, transported, or housed for any illegal purposes.
Donovan was known to be an outstanding athlete and to have a phenomenal mouth. He also was known to be an excited biter. Although this is a trait that is not necessarily sought after by most game dog breeders and owners, it is a trait that I look for because I like to do protection work with my animals. In order for a pit bull to have that protection work and that drive, I needed some of those genes to already be there.
Okay, let's go.
Today's episode is sponsored by Grit and Steele leashes, collars, and apparel. If you ain't got grit, you ain't got steel. Check out the link in the description below and enjoy today's video. What's good, big dog? It's your boy Dre, and this is Samurai Kennels with the Shogun Saga series. I decided to revitalize the channel and make it better by simply making the story easier to follow, having better graphics, better details, and just overall better production quality. If you're watching this episode with us right now, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe and share, and ensure that you get all the notifications for our lives, competitions, and our video releases. Thank you, and we appreciate your time.
In today's episode, we're going to be explaining to you exactly what happened with the last Digital Dog Show, giving you some futuristic updates, as well as a testimonial from my brother, Big A. To begin, we were set to have a Digital Dog Show to release back in October. This didn't happen because of lack of crowd participation. The reasons why, I'm not going to speculate. What I am going to do is congratulate those 3 individuals who actually stood up and came out to support. Shouts out to Outlaw Texas Kennels. He was the first person to do our Slat Meal Challenge, so he won that one by default. Additionally, we had Supreme Excellence and Heart and Finish Kennels come through and support us. I appreciate you guys, and I want to make sure that those who are actually coming out to support get the shout outs, support they need to be successful. Now let's get into what's been going on with Dre over the last couple months. So last month, I went to Salt Lake City, Utah to a conference for sustainment of the A-10 aircraft. When I returned, it was time for my wife and I's anniversary. So we went out to dinner, and I wanted to share some clips of that with you. Finally, we had a community day at my community center here in my neighborhood. You've seen that community center in a lot of videos, and I just want to show how involved in the community the Neo Dogman movement is. I know while a lot of the old school bulldoggers stayed away from the public, they had their reasons for it. I now want to be a public and community figure that's actually to the uplifting of the community. I also want you to note how well organized the event is of all races. There was not a single issue out there. No one even got in so much of an argument. I want to show you these things because we want to build better people that can build better animals.
This is a 24 so you're talking, 8 inches slower. That is super loud.
What's good, big dog? Samurai Kennels now does our own transporting. We transport not just American Pit Bull Terriers, but all breeds and any pets that can fit in an airline-sized crate. We also do litter transportation as well as transportation of some equipment as long as it can be pulled on an 8x10 trailer. If you would like to reach us for our transportation services, then you can find us on Facebook at Samurai Kennels as well as Instagram at Samurai Kennels. Hit us in the inbox. Salute.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay. Yeah, so
I'm gonna talk about Michonne, and Michonne came off of Saki um, and Bacardi, and I remember get before I got Michonne, there was a breeding that took place with Saki and Bacardi, and it really didn't turn out. So I was on patience. I was waiting, waiting, and almost a year went by, and then you know, uh, get word that the pups touched the ground, everybody's healthy, and I remember seeing the first the first picture of the pups, and as soon as I saw the first pictures of the pups, I saw Michonne blackface. I said, "Oh, I gotta have her, man." And shout out to my partner Dre, man. He gifted me the pick of the litter, so I had the choice to pick the pick of the litter, man. So I was thinking about you know, ways that I could introduce her to my new household or whatnot, man. And I didn't understand her temperament at the time, so uh, choosing a dog without really knowing the temperament, just going off the sight, you kind of got a lot of curiosity going in the background, man. Now I go up to Dre house and check out the pups, hang out for a little while, and hit the house, man. And she'd be on my mind. And the day came where I actually got to bring her home. I brought her home. She's a little tiny, little something, followed me around real well. She took to me very good. Um, and one thing that I noticed was she really wasn't a loud pup. She was quiet. Coming into the house, she had uh decent house manners. It wasn't the best, but it was decent. But she was very attentive and highly um highly prey driven. She loved food. So that's where I worked with her, when it came to training or whatnot. And as soon as we hit the door, day one, we started working on little training things, bringing her, introducing her to the household and keeping her in one area so she knows, her natural space, man. And she took to everything very, very well, man, very well. Every time I would have to jump into a little training session, she was always highly attentive and ready to go. That was a real good trait. And one thing that I did notice about her, because we had temperament tested three dogs and two dogs we didn't temperament test. And I believe that was Dre dog and my dog. So like I said, that was one of the things that I was kind of, trying to figure out. And she, coming into the household, I would notice she would be a little timid about objects, not people, not animals, but just mainly objects. So that was something that I noticed, and I'll fast forward, and I'm saying that to bring up some stuff, later on. But anyway, other than that, man, she would show all the good signs that I would want out of a pet for a family household, kids involved and everything. And then she showed me all the bulldog traits that I wanted to see, me personally. And ultimately, she had the perfect temperament, for my setting and my surroundings. And you know training her was simple, easy. And I would have to say that has to go with genetics, the upbringing of the dog, prior to me having it, with the father and the mother and whatnot. Shout out to Dre for putting together, a nice little bit, man. But honestly, just following the script, so yeah. But Michonne, she I believe she's the biggest female out of all out of the litter, and I think she still is. She's about 42 pounds right now. So fast forward, man. We go on runs. I've taken her on a 5 mile run before. She doesn't do well. She does well with walks, but she would rather run. If we go on a 2, 3 mile walk, she's ready to go after about a mile and a half. But if I were to take her on a run, she willing to go a 4 miles, 2, 3 miles without no hesitation of stopping. So I definitely enjoy that. She real good with the fam, real good with the kids. Really a people person. I don't necessarily have to worry about it, around a lot of people, but I always keep an eye on her and keep her in good environments where I can have the upper hand on control of the situation. Um, Going into hunting or prey drive per se, I take her on walks, man, and we'll see a couple of vermin or coyotes or whatnot, man. And she take to it well. But she just started really showing signs of uh real animal aggression. Um and I I believe it has to do with her maturing. I would be on walks and go on jogs and stuff, and we would come across a few things, and I would get her excited or whatnot. And she just started taking to it now more than she was before, because I can remember the first time I really noticed she was more into people than she was the prey. Was we were at a park one time and we were going for a walk. It was me, my daughter, and this is like one of those wildlife kind of parks, where you're gonna run into snakes, you're gonna run into all this stuff, man. They have signs telling you where these uh things are, and it was a gang of deer standing maybe 10 feet in front of us. And Michonne, she wasn't paying the deer no mind. I couldn't get her to pay attention to the deer. She was more focused on the people. She was trying to get attention from the people, and the deer standing right there so still you would think they were statues, And I was like, okay, I'm noticing something. So, I noticed that about her, but that was, more so puppy stage. And as time progresses, she starts showing little signs of, I'm more focused on the animal than I am people now. She's gotten her little touches, her little, better interact with people. And a lot of the things that I'm talking about has to do with lack of socialization at a young age, for her. Because I kept her in the house per se for the most part, man, because I've got a thing where I've had so many pups and I ran through so many pups, and X amount of my pups have gotten sick. So, uh, I got a thing to where I'd rather desocialize to a certain extent depending on my situation so I can ensure the puppy's health. I need to see them at least make that 11 months before I start feeling a little more comfortable. So, getting her into socializing, uh, I remember one time I was walking in the park or walking in my neighborhood, and we have a little kiddie park. It's not. It's pretty much a toddler park, and across the street from the toddler park, is homes. And in this one particular home that sits directly in front of the park, they got two big dogs, a German Shepherd and some mixed breed. I don't know what it is, but on this particular day, I'm uh jogging with Michonne. We were going on a light jog around the neighborhood, and I remember the lady was sitting on a bench, and her German Shepherd was sitting next to her off the leash, but you couldn't tell the German Shepherd was off the leash from the angle we were at. By the time we get to the park, Michonne sees the German Shepherd. The German Shepherd sees Michonne. Well, Michonne didn't see the German Shepherd. The German Shepherd sees Michonne, and the German Shepherd takes off howling and in an aggressive manner. And Michonne, uh, it startled Michonne. Like she didn't see it coming, you know. And like I say, lack of exposure, lack of, uh, interacting with other animals. She backed up and jumped out of almost like a fearful jump, like it scared, startled, it startled her. So I'm always quiet in these situations. I don't encourage. I don't do anything. I just let the dog be in its natural state. So we keep going. We go around and keep going, and that was that day. So maybe 2 weeks go by, and I'm like, you know what? I'm a, I'm going. I went on another walk before. The dog was outside or whatnot. Michonne is highly attentive this time on the dog, but no reaction, no nothing. So about 2 weeks go by, and my neighbor directly across the street from me, he has a German Shepherd, and they were having problem issues with the German Shepherd, and German Shepherds always tearing up stuff, breaking through the fence, getting in the neighbor's yard, and so on and so forth. And we're friends with him, so I, was explaining to him, hey man, a lot of the times that your dog is being in that frustrated state is because it's a working dog, and when you have a working dog and you're not giving that working dog his space to work, then that dog is naturally going to start getting frustrated and start acting out. And that's what it is. That's exactly what it did. What that dog was doing. Me knowing that they really don't need, like they have no need for a working dog, and they don't have control of that working dog. It's just one of those wild dogs. I wanted to see something, so I said, hey man, let's take the dogs on a walk. And he was, my neighbor was happy. He was like, yeah, come on, let's go. Thinking it's a regular walk. Me personally, I know that they're not conscious of how to introduce dogs anyway, especially when you go on a walk, working dogs, aggressive dogs, and the whole nine. It's a certain way that you want to let them approach, you really don't even want to let them approach each other. You kind of want to keep them side by side at the distance, introducing. And he came out the house. I'm outside with Michonne standing across the street waiting for him to come out the house. And he came out the house and his German Shepherd aggressively went at Michonne. And Michonne, I don't know whether Michonne was thinking it was that same German Shepherd that tried her before, or or just like whatever, but she said, no, that time it started me. This time I'm ready. She got to hollering. You swear somebody trying to beat her, man. She tore up all her pads on the concrete, man. Every last one of her pads was bleeding. I had to let her chill for a couple of weeks, get that full recovery. But it also showed me that something that I didn't see, that I noticed with Saki, that I didn't know that I see with Michonne. And I noticed this and I've seen it with Saki. Like I've seen Saki be around other dogs in the household. I can't speak for dogs outside of the household, but inside Saki's circle. And Saki really not be tripping off of any dogs at all until that dog gets aggressive. And then it's a different story. And I noticed that with Michonne, like Michonne will be cool, she's interested in other dogs, but as soon as a dog shows some form of aggression, it's a, she just she's ready. She's ready. And I'll bring that up to Halloween that just passed. So I take Michonne out. We doing the walk around the neighborhood and whatnot. Kids, everybody out. Uh, I want Michonne to be a little sociable, with other humans and whatnot. So when we out, it'd be a couple of people ask, hey, can I pet them? Can I walk? Can I do this? Can I do that? I'm always, depending on the situation, the environment, sure, go ahead, because for me, it's showing that it's kind of like being a spokesman for the breed. You can see that these dogs are real good dogs. You know, they not what the news put it out to be, especially with how things have been going down here in San Antonio with all with the dogs making the news on a regular basis. So, and there's a lot of people out there. Michonne's never been around this many people in one area at one time. So I know it's one of those situations where you got to be really attentive and control the situation, you know, so on and so forth. And we get to one street, and it's some neighbors the street behind us. I really don't fool with them. I don't fool with a lot of people, but I've never had a confrontation with them. They just kind of messy, so I stay away. But it's Halloween. We out. My daughter run up to their house and get some candy. And one of the gentlemen, because they always hang out, one of the gentlemen came out and he's like, "Man, can I pet the dog?" I'm like, "Sure." And he reached down to pet Michonne, and Michonne's never done this before. So he reached down to pet Michonne, and Michonne back up. And it was the same kind of backup with the German Shepherd, kind of like a fearful caught me off guard, but and she just backed up. And he go and try to stick his hand down there to pet her again, and she jumped back. This time it's like an aggressive jump back. So just paying attention to your dog and seeing certain things, the dogs will let you know people are, they not solid. You know what I'm saying? There's something wrong with them. But I didn't like it to begin with, so I don't know if it was her feeling it off of me or her feeling it off of her, her, whatever she was feeling as far as, the energy. But you know, so, the night progresses and we steady walking around and there's two real aggressive dogs that live in the backyard, stay back there 24/7, rain, hail, sleet, snow. And they try to get anything moving behind that on the other side of the gate, especially an animal. We walk past the first gate and the dog is banging on the fence, trying to get us Michonne or trying to get her attention. Quiet, I don't say anything. And we just keep going and I control the situation. We get past that house and we come up to the other aggressive dog house. And this dog, uh the fence is on the corner of the house. So the fence comes into a 90-degree angle. And at that 90-degree angle, near the bottom of the fence, where, dog height, it's got a hole in it. So the dog can stick its snout out and snap, but it's still contained within the fence. So the dog sticks its snout out, snapping at Michonne, and Michonne go off. And I'm not, and I call it like, I don't know, like she's her maturity and then her lack of exposure makes her like a late bloomer as far as certain things, when it comes to certain things. But um from that time forward, she, and when I say she started going off, I'm talking about damn near everybody in the street stopped because they thought I was beating her or something like that. That's how bad she be hollering and screaming.
Watch. Watch. No, so. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah, she. Watch. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Let's go.
Like she's determined, and I'm not saying that like she is like she has game because I don't do anything illegal. I don't be on that side of the fence, but she's never had a tooth there. But like I say, she shows all the signs that you would want to see out of a prospective dog. But on the other end, you know. She's a great pet, like as far as the household, as far as being around my wife, as far as being around my daughter. If my daughter had her friends over, of course I still supervise everything, but she's good, you know. So for me, um that's like one of the biggest things of balance that you can have in my world, you know. It's kind of like the best of both worlds. Um, you know, and every time a certain situation comes about, she's slowly starting to get into her bag, you know, as far as getting into her her true form, you know, and it's a good thing to see. So I went and got a slat meal. I recently got a slat meal. Uh, I've never had a slat meal before. Never put a dog on a slat meal before. I've had friends that have had slat meals, cat meals, or whatnot too. Um, I would always, had a bike. I would put the dogs on the bike. Um, 'Cause I wasn't back in the day. I wasn't fixing to spend that money on a slat meal. Whatever. When I could get that motion on the bike, but I got the slat meal, and back to the part of Michonne being timid. She's always timid of you know new objects, moving objects. Like and from a training perspective, it's where the patient comes in. You got to have the patience, and you got to know. You got to have a firm direction of where you're gonna go and where you're gonna stand. So I got the slat mill, and I'm not a I'm not a forceful type of person. I'm not going to force it on the dog. But this particular situation, I said, I got the slap meal today. I put the slap meal together today. She gonna get on that slap meal and she's gonna work it today. That was my goal. That was my intention, and that's what I was with. Um, when I got Michonne, when I drove her home from me picking her up from Dre house, she sat on my lap in the car. We got to the house. She it was a cool ride. Of course, sometimes that pups are nervous on that first ride with somebody new. But from that point on, when we got to the house, she didn't want to get in the car. And like I say, I have the patience, so I'm not gonna force it. We can work around that. I'll build my bond with you. We'll work on something else and come back to the car a couple months later, and so on and so forth. And I did the same thing. And as time went by, I opened the door. She jumped right in the car. I didn't have to say anything. No training, no nothing. But that was me not forcing the situation. The slap meal is a different situation. I'm forcing this situation, but I'm, in a whole different manner. So I put the slap meal together. Uh, you know, I introduce her to the slap meal. She doesn't want to go near it. She doesn't want to get on it. The slap mill doesn't have a lock, so I gotta, MacGyver a lock in there so it doesn't move because that's the most nervous thing for him. But like I said, we jumping in this pool 10 toes in. We diving in, man. So anyway, um, I put her on the flat mill, no lock, no nothing. Lock her in. The flat mill move. She lock up. She lay down. She not moving. It's a done deal. She like, a lot of people would say that's ruining the job. Like you can't do it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, okay. So put the lock on the slab mill, and then I got a TV near the slab mill. Put a series on. I was watching Yellowstone. You know what I'm saying? And watch an episode. Won't let her sit down. She got to stand up the whole time. And then I let her down. We go in. I give her a treat. And the whole nine. We go through a whole process. Then we come back about maybe 2, 3 hours later and do the same thing again. Sit there. You know. Then after that, I um I got some high value treats, and then I put my little MacGyver lock on the slap mill, and I with the I'm not putting her on the flat meal this time. I just need you to jump up on the flat. So I got her to jump up on the flat meal, luring her with high value treats. It started with her first two paws. And then when she put her first two paws up there, I pick her up there and put her on there. And I just continue doing that until she jumped up there. And now that she jumped up there, the next thing I'm doing is I'm trying to get her to walk from the back of the slat mill to the front of the slat mill with a lot. You know what I'm so she can get used to walking in that motion because that's the motion she's gonna be going in anyway. So I get her comfortable in doing that. And when she get on the slat mill, she walk through it, high value treat. Walk through it, high value treat. Walk through it, high value treat. Take a little break, go and chill, a couple of hours, whatnot, let her think about it, because I'm not feeding her today. We working off of these treats. And go back a couple of hours, get her on there. She walked through, and then you know, um, put her on there. Take the lock off this time, and now she start moving. She locking up, but she a little more comfortable. And she move a little bit, and I'm just, it's nothing. I'm not trying to work her, and then I'm just trying to go from point A to point B on this slat mill. A couple of steps, we good to go. So she does a little wall freeze up, does a little wall freeze up. Now I take away the treats. And I we get off and come back about an hour or so later. I took away the treats. Now I got a high value prey drive toy. And I put the high value prey drive toy, teeth get to chattering, then she get to going, man. And you know, it's been like that for the last 3 days. And now I can put her on there, no treat, no high value toy, and she'll go, you know, and put a high value toy up there. She start running a little too fast for me. She's still trying to balance her way out. She's not striding yet, so I just want her to get real comfortable, but quick adjustment. And she jumped on the bandwagon and she with it. But I will say this. Um, a lot of the things that I'm talking about has to do, especially with the easy training, has to do with genetics. It has to do with the breeder, and then it has to do with the man behind the dog. But all of these three things play a big part. Yeah, those, she's been one of, if not the easiest dog for me to train. Um, and like I say, man, she's the right temperament for my situation at the current time and the direction I'm trying to go in, man. She's a great dog. Um,
I need another one. I'ma roll it up and I light it up. I need another one. So put some more in my cup. I just need another one. I'ma roll it up and I light it up. I need another one. So put some more in my cup. I just need another one. 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 I just need another one.